Hi, my name is Gabriela Flores, and my presentation is on the film Boyhood, written and directed by Richard Linklater. This film was nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars and won the Golden Globe Award for Best Motion Picture of 2015. The audience follows Mason Evans Jr. through the toughest years of his life. We follow him through boyhood, hence the title of the film, since early childhood to his arrival at a university. We get to follow Mason from age 6 all the way to his moving into his dorm in college. And the film captures adolescence in a way that allows anyone to relate to the film. Anyone can watch this film, it is for everyone, and each character is special, and everyone can relate to this film. The film is about a white, suburban, middle class family and the hardships of going through puberty, in a way, going through boyhood. And even though I'm a female, I can still relate to Mason. From left to right, we have Ethan Hawke, who plays Mason Sr., so the dad. And after that, we have Eller Coltrane, who plays Mason Evans Jr. in the film. Next to him, we have Lorelei Linklater, who plays Samantha, who is Mason's sister, and she's sassy, she's unique, and she spices up the film in her own way. She's also the daughter of the director. Next to her, we have Patricia Arquette, who plays an unappreciated mother whose name is Olivia, and her and their father, Mason, are separated. Next to her, we have the director, Richard Linklater, who isn't in the film. He just directs it, I guess, edits it, and he's just not in the film. The mise en scène is really interesting in this film. And the most interesting three things that I found were that there are no special effects in this film. There's no special lighting, none of that. It's all natural, it's just there aren't any effects in it. It's self-explainable. There's no makeup provided. If you wanted to wear makeup, you could, which I guess Patricia did wear makeup, and so did Lorelei, but they weren't required to wear makeup. It was supposed to be natural, and really, it was supposed to be relatable to everyone, which it is, and no actors taking over for younger ones. So usually in a film we have when a director tries to show the passage of time, whether it be in the future or like a flashback, they always switch the characters. So if it was an older character, they'd switch it to a younger character. If it was a younger character, they'd switch it to an older one. But in this movie, these kids grow up literally right in front of our eyes on the screen. It's amazing, and we grow up with them in a way. Um, Eller Coltrane's hair was not required to be cut or grown. He grew it however long he wanted to. Um, he received many piercings throughout the film and wasn't required to remove them. He was allowed to have them. Those were his real piercings, not the director's choice. Lorelei dyes her hair halfway through the film, and she does this in real life, so not as her character Samantha. Patricia cuts her hair, leaves it as long as she wants. She changes it a lot throughout the movie, and that's not the director's choice, that was their choice, the actor's choice. Also, as you can see here on the left, Eller Coltrane does have acne, and the director didn't care that he had acne because this just makes it more relatable to teens everywhere. Everyone gets acne, it's normal, and that's what the director was trying to show in this film. This is a close-up of Patricia, and it's just her hair. She cut it short to show a more motherly role, but she wasn't required to. And this is just a picture of Lorelei with red hair. She did dye it halfway through the film, and she wasn't required to, but she did it because she wanted to. The mise-en-scène continued, framing and composition. So here we have an over-the-shoulder shot, and although you can't see her shoulder because this picture is zoomed in, this is actually taken over Olivia's shoulder, and in the film you can see a strand of her hair and her shoulder. And this is just a shot of Bill throwing a fit because he's an alcoholic, he's drunk, and he hates squash, so he's throwing a fit. This is another over-the-shoulder shot, and although this one is a little bit farther away, in the film, the camera does zoom in, and so therefore it only shows her shoulder and a strand of her hair, and that's Patricia. This is the first scene of the film, and this is a high angle shot, although it doesn't look like in this picture. It is a high angle shot because we start off staring at Mason's eyes. From the top, we stare at his green eyes looking up at the sky, and then it just kind of stretches out or zooms out in a way. This is an extreme close-up of Mason getting his hair cut. He has tears in his eyes. He is really sad and depressed because his hair makes him who he is, and he's upset that his stepfather is making him cut it. And we can really feel his pain, I guess, in this picture, or in this scene, because that's what makes him him. So why would someone force a child to cut their hair if they're happy the way they have it? But yeah, he's really upset in this scene. The editing is amazing, and it takes place over a 12-year period. These actors grow up, as I said before, literally on our screen. We grow up with them. It's discontinuous for a reason. So what I mean there is that the first 30 minutes of the film, I was kind of upset and confused because it kept skipping over like their ages. They would just grow really fast, and I was really upset for this because I was confused. And then I realized that the film is supposed to be this way. The film only shows major points in the characters' lives that shape them. So it's foreshadowing in a way, and it just demonstrates the points in their lives that they decide to shape their future. And there's no special effects, and that's self-explainable. The two major themes here are a mother will do anything for her kids, and you have the choice to be who you want to be. Referring to the first one, a mother will do anything for her kids, or at least a real mother will. Olivia was really dedicated, and she moved into her mother's house at the beginning of the film because she wanted to return to go to school, like to go to college, to finish college, and she does do this throughout the film. And she dates 4 horrendous men, including their father, which was the first, who abuse her, are alcoholics, and just because she wants the kids to grow up having a fatherly figure. So the second one, you have the choice to be who you want to be. Mason could have been an alcoholic or abusive like his stepfather Bill, who he did spend most of his life with, and he chose not to. He chose to go to college and have a future for himself. And also with Samantha, she could have dropped out of college just like her mom did, and she didn't. She continued it, and she loved it. She loved furthering her education. The director's life, well, his name is Richard Linklater. He was born July 30th, 1960 in Houston, Texas, and the majority of this movie takes place in Texas. So that's where he grew up with, that's where his roots come from, and he portrays this well in the movie. He's known for his realistic portrayal of human life in films. He definitely shows a real family on the screen. It's something real, human life. It's real, it's big. It's a real portrayal of life. People are this way. He's also known for filming suburban culture. Like I said before, this is a suburban white family, middle class, so he did a great job with that. He's also known for the passage of time and relationships, and he demonstrates this well. The characters choose to have relationships, the characters choose to not keep relationships, and he demonstrates the passage of time really, really well. He's a self-taught director and writer, and his most famous film, besides Boyhood, is Dazed and Confused, which was made in the 1990s, I believe. My review, I give it a 9.5 out of 10, and the only reason that I didn't give it a 10 is because I hated the passage of time. Um, the director didn't indicate how much time had passed. Like, usually films do that, they say 2 years later, but this film did not, and I was confused in whether he was still 7 or he was 8 or if he was 9, because he didn't really change much the first like 4 years of his life, like since age 6 to 10. So I wasn't really aware, and it was confusing. The actors were amazing. The actors were so amazing that I began to think if this was is this a documentary, because they portray like a real family. They're really real. It's just relatable. It's amazing. The actors were really good, and the plot was just amazing. And it's something that some people go through, the majority of people go through hardships, and it just helps you realize that you're not the only one who goes through these things. So overall, I give it a 9.5 out of 10, and it really did deserve its nomination at the Oscars and winning the Best Motion Picture from the Golden Globes. I think it really deserved that. And this is the end, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation as much as I enjoyed making it and analyzing the film. So thank you, and this is the end, I guess.